Ball State students are feeling mixed emotions after an announcement from the university that the remainder of the semester would be completed online. What the campus has to say after coronavirus cancels class.
And government officials are making big decisions in the midst of the pandemic and facing exposure to the virus. What legislators are doing during this outbreak to protect others and themselves.
And rain is moving into Indiana for tonight. I'm also tracking how cool temperatures are going to affect us for tonight, looking at your forecast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Blake Dollier.
And I'm Logan Salzbrenner. Thanks for joining us. As students on campus at Ball State prepare to move all of their coursework online,
the university now says some classes may be meeting next week. BSU sent out this thread of tweets this afternoon saying a majority of classes will be replaced with virtual instruction beginning Monday. However, Ball State also says smaller classes with hands-on learning may require more time to transition, saying it should fully happen before March 23rd. The information is also listed on the university's website. Students are reacting to the decision by BSU with mixed emotions.
NewsLink Indiana's Tyler Brummett joins us live in the studio. Tyler, how are students responding?
Well, Logan and Blake, students are really just responding in a variety of ways. You know, this is unprecedented territory, as you guys said, but some are saying that they're happy about the move. Despite the disruption, it's something that they're saying just has to be done, but others tell me they feel the university is overreacting, and with more news regarding the pandemic continuing to develop by the minute, several people we talked to today have more questions than answers.
They say commencement might not even happen, which feels, like a ripoff to me.
I want to know if they made this decision on their own or if they really just looked at all the other schools around the country and just did what they're doing.
Students stunned by Wednesday's decision by Ball State to move classes online.
I woke up from a nap. My roommate's like, bro, we're done for the semester. I was like, you mean 2 weeks? And she was like, the semester, and I couldn't believe it.
The unprecedented steps taken following similar moves by other colleges across the country. And one day later, students are now learning more about what will happen with their classes. But some things are still unknown. Seniors wondering now what could happen with this year's commencement.
I have seniors in my class who are really concerned, and they're like, I don't know if I'm even going to be walking across the stage.
I don't know what options we have, whether it's not even so much about a refund to me at this point, just getting the college experience that I actually paid for.
And as the move to online classes is about to begin, people across campus are still grappling with the new reality they now face.
I'm trying to be open-minded because I understand that people making the decisions are looking at a lot wider scope than I am.
I definitely think it's a little bit over the top.
It was a hard decision for them to make, and I'm glad they made one and made it fast.
Now, guys, I do want to mention that I did reach out to university officials. No one was available to talk today on camera, but I also want to point out that they did say that they're available tomorrow. So NewsLink Indiana, we're going to bring you that conversation on our midday show. That is beginning at noon. And again, a story that just continues to develop time after time, just a lot coming down with it.
Tyler Brummett with us tonight in the studio. Tyler, thank you.
After BSU's announcement, NewsLink Indiana's Logan Rivera reports, students are also reflecting on the precautions they took over spring break.
Ball State remains on edge as students resume their day-to-day schedules with the threat of coronavirus looming overhead. Like many students, Michael Hassel used air travel over spring break while keeping his personal sanitation in check.
I wiped down everything. Like, I had a nice big bag of Clorox wipes. Thank you, Mary Keller. And I tried not to touch anything, which is like harder than you think, because like you go up an escalator and you like put your hand on that thing. So trying not to touch anything was difficult, but I tried as best I could.
With Ball State joining other universities, such as IU and Purdue, in exclusively online classes in order to combat the virus spread, students like Claire Cassidy are left dazed and confused. Only time will tell how this worldwide pandemic will pan out. But in the meantime, wash your hands and stay healthy. In Muncie, Logan Rivera, NewsLink Indiana.
Health officials say make sure to stay aware of any potential symptoms.
The city of Muncie is taking precautions against the virus, first by postponing Saturday's St. Patrick's Day parade. The city also asks only essential people come to City Hall, and it asks to limit entering any public buildings. Also at City Hall today, the ongoing FBI investigation into payment for public works projects continues. The FBI made 2 arrests in Muncie today. That's according to a press release today from U.S. Attorney Josh Minkler. Those arrests were Phil Nichols, a former chairman for a political party in the county, and Muncie Police Department Sergeant Jess Neal. They are indicted on charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and witness tampering.
The cases of coronavirus increase in Indiana. The state is at 12 cases now. The State Department of Health made an announcement today saying the latest case is the second in Marion County. Additionally, Fiat Chrysler says an employee at a factory in Kokomo has tested positive. In addition, BSU, several other universities across the state are extending spring breaks or moving to online classes. Those schools include Butler, DePauw, Indiana State, Valparaiso, and University of Evansville. Elementary, middle, and high schools across the state are also making similar changes. Governor Eric Holcomb's office announced today schools will be allowed to close for up to 20 days to handle it.
Senator Lindsey Graham is taking precautions to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Graham has decided to self-quarantine himself and work remotely after attending an event in Florida. A top Brazilian government official who was attending the event tested positive for the virus. A statement from Graham's office says that Graham was tested and is waiting for his results. The statement also says that the precaution steps come from his doctor's advice. And President Donald Trump met the same Brazilian official, but the White House says the president has no plans to be tested for COVID-19 or go into self-quarantine after attending the same events last weekend.
President Donald Trump announces a temporary travel ban for most of Europe starting tomorrow. Daryl Forges tells us how these travel restrictions are affecting airports.
Americans are still traveling for now.
This virus, we have to be safe, but we still want to travel.
Got some gloves, trying to stay away from a lot of people, just being mindful and being cautious.
This after President Trump on Wednesday announced restrictions on travel from Europe to the U.S.
We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days.
But the president's initial announcement later required some important corrections. The travel suspension doesn't apply to all of Europe. It applies only to 26 countries, including France, Germany, and hard-hit Italy, not the UK and Ireland. American citizens, permanent residents, and some of their family members can still travel home. Vice President Mike Pence Thursday morning added,
Americans coming home will be funneled through 13 different airports. They'll be screened, and then we're going to ask every American and legal resident returning to the United States to self-quarantine for 14 days.
The restrictions still causing concerns for Americans returning from abroad.
I was pretty nervous about not being able to go home.
In Atlanta, I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
For anyone traveling during this time, make sure to use precautions and be aware of any further travel advisories.
Take a look now at the duck pond on campus. We saw beautiful spring weather today.
But the warm weather may not be here to stay. Joseph, what can you tell us?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a very warm day outside, at least above average temperatures throughout much of the state. We're still sitting in the 50s across much of Indiana. For example, 58 in Muncie, 56 in Indianapolis still. So much warmer than it was yesterday. In fact, in some areas, we're seeing a temperature difference of 12 degrees warmer in Muncie and 12 degrees warmer in Indianapolis compared to yesterday. That is very extremely warm. But those warm temperatures do come at a price still, because we're seeing rain still moving into the viewing area. In fact, we're seeing rain showers and even a thunderstorm or two moving into Delaware County and Madison County. And those showers are expected to continue throughout tonight. I'm going to be tracking how that rain is expected to continue over the next few hours. Then we're going to be tracking how cool temperatures are going to come around Friday morning. And finally, we're going to be tracking how we're going to see a rain-snow mix for Saturday, which could actually impact your commute if you're having to travel around during that period of time. So Logan, Blake, make sure to stay safe over the weekend.
Coronavirus closes down events and attractions around the world. The newest additions to the list, that's next.
But first, it causes the Dow to drop drastically. We're putting today's decline in perspective.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Coronavirus drives the stock market down, with all three major indices now in bear territory. They're down almost 10% today.
The Dow and S&P 500 saw their worst day in 30 years. The last time the stock market dropped this low was Black Monday in 1987.
Tom Hanks says he and his wife Rita Wilson have tested positive for coronavirus. He made the announcement in a tweet last night saying they will stay isolated as long as necessary. Both Hanks and Wilson are 63. Hanks describes their symptoms as similar to a cold, with some body aches, slight fevers, and intermittent chills. And a Utah Jazz player tests positive as well. This led to an announcement suspending the remainder of the NBA season. We're also learning today March Madness is canceled. We'll, of course, have more on that tonight in sports.
Also closing to COVID-19, the happiest place on Earth. Disney says it will close Disneyland starting tomorrow. The theme parks in Shanghai and Hong Kong were already closed due to the outbreak. Disneyland is expected to be closed through the end of the month, but resort hotels will stay open until Monday to accommodate guests who need to make arrangements. And breaking news we're just now learning, Disney World will also close, but some hotel and offices will remain open. And the show must go on, but even Broadway is making accommodations. 5 shows have announced they're slashing ticket prices starting today. You can see some shows, like West Side Story, for only $50. This lasts through March 29th, as health experts are advising people to avoid crowded places when possible. And live audiences are out. Several late-night shows are pulling their studio audiences over coronavirus concerns. These shows include The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. They joined Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, which had already nixed tapings with live audiences. CBS News makes a move after 2 employees test positive. The employees work in 2 different New York City buildings. That's according to an internal CBS memo obtained by CNN. Employees in both buildings are asked to work remotely until the offices are disinfected, and employees who came into contact with those individuals will self-quarantine for 2 weeks. Some CBS productions are moving to different locations over the next few days, and the main offices are expected to reopen Monday.
A new drive-up testing center is open in Denver, and it's free. The lines had up to 4-hour wait times today. That's according to the Colorado Department of Health and Environment. To be tested at this facility, people need a written or electronic note from a doctor or healthcare provider. The state says they plan to extend criteria to others experiencing flu-like symptoms. The time is now 9:14. Let's take another look at your weather going into the weekend.
Yeah, right now we're tracking rain that's moving across into central Indiana, including our viewing area, mostly affecting Granton County right now, but I'll have more after the break.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Today's warm weather was a pretty drastic change from yesterday.
Joseph, what can we expect going into the weekend?
Well, you're certainly right about that. It has been a pretty warm day throughout today. We've been seeing highs in the 60s across much of the state. And certainly we're going to continue seeing those conditions throughout tonight with those warm temperatures sticking around. But I think the most important thing right now is focusing on the rain that's moving through. Currently, rain showers are moving into Marion and Madison County. We're also seeing rain showers moving into Delaware County as well. In fact, most of the rain showers are actually in Grant County, moving into Blackford and DeJay. So to the north of us, intersecting Interstate 69. So if you're having to travel during that time, traveling right now, make sure to stay safe. But but at least it's a completely different beast down south. Most of the rain is actually moving towards the east now. Cincinnati was soaked by the rainfall now, and it's now moving towards West Virginia. So if you happen to be traveling around, definitely make sure to keep an umbrella with you for tonight. But again, at least it's been pretty warm. We're sitting at currently 58 in Muncie, for example, so it's been pretty nice, above average temperatures. But those above average temperatures are going to go away. We're going to drop to a low of 40 with rain chances for tonight, and I'm going to end up timing out that rain chance for the viewing area. By 11 p.m., most of the rain will start moving out. However, we will see rain sticking around in Randolph and Delaware counties, so make sure to carry an umbrella with you. Some of those rain showers could be pretty gusty outside, so definitely make sure to drive safely as well. But by Friday morning, those rain showers and any gusty winds associated with those showers will be gone, leaving mostly clear conditions for Friday, and that's because of a cold front that's going to start moving through during the overnight hours. We're going to drop from the low 50s that we're seeing tonight to around the upper 30s by Friday morning. 38 in Muncie, for example, 38 in Indianapolis. We're going to be pretty cold outside for tomorrow morning. Make sure to carry a light jacket at least as you end up heading out. But we will see a bit of a warm-up when we head into Friday afternoon. We'll jump up into the mid-40s, 46 in Muncie, for example, and 50 in Terre Haute. Ultimately, it's going to be pretty nice out for tomorrow. Just make sure to stay warm. And then we're going to start seeing mostly clear conditions for Friday as well, thanks to that cold front that's bringing stabilizing conditions. But those stabilized conditions will not last forever, as we're going to see a rain-snow system moving in during the Saturday afternoon and sticking around until Saturday evening, leaving around Sunday morning. So make sure that you are driving safely as you're heading down to Central and Southern Indiana during that period of time. So let me just sum it up with the mid-7-day forecast with 45 for Friday, then a chance for some snow on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, seeing actually mostly sunny skies. Then we'll see more rain around next week. Definitely make sure to keep an umbrella with you, but at least you only need to worry about an umbrella because it will be warm next week.
Well, thanks, Joseph. And yeah, hopefully the rain can stay away and we can see some more temperatures like we saw today. Now, COVID-19 closes doors across the nation, including at major athletic events.
We've got the latest on the March Madness cancellations and more. That's next in sports.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
problems, the ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Weeknights, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. We've got the latest news headlines.
Freezing temperatures have set in all the way down in Louisiana.
One man dead after flooding in Venice, Italy.
Up-to-the-minute weather conditions.
Cold temperatures are the story this morning.
And of course, lots of fun.
It is not funny.
What on earth is happening there?
I feel sorry for the little guy.
I've got my socks on. Annie with her curly hair, which is actually never curly. Join us Friday mornings at 8 on Facebook Live.
Good evening and welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Joey Moore with sports. We won't be seeing any more action this semester as the Mid-American Conference has canceled all athletics for the remainder of the 2019-20 season. The MAC joins the Big Ten, Ivy League, Pac-12, and Big 12 in canceling their athletics for the remainder of the season. MAC teams will not be permitted to hold organized practice until further notice. NewsLink Indiana will keep you updated on any other athletic shutdowns. The NCAA announced this afternoon via Twitter that the annual March Madness basketball tournament has been canceled. The basketball tournament was not the only tournament to be dropped, as the announcement also claimed that all NCAA tournaments and championship events for the winter season have been canceled. College sports governing body has yet to announce if all spring sports are canceled along with their respective tournaments. But as the NCAA canceled its tournaments, the IHSAA still plans to continue. According to Commissioner Bobby Cox, the regional games will be played with only essential personnel, coaches, administrative staff, and immediate family members. Each school will receive 75 tickets in addition to each team's 12 dressed players. As of yesterday, Cox had still planned to hold the tournament in front of fans. Canceling the tournament, which still remains a possibility, Cox claims, could cost the association $500,000. The Mid-American Conference has made the decision to cancel their conference basketball tournaments due to the coronavirus. Along with the MAC, the Big Ten, ACC, SEC, Big 12, and many other conferences have canceled their basketball tournaments. Some conferences made the call just minutes before contests were about to begin, including the Big Ten, who canceled their tournament while players were warming up for the Michigan versus Rutgers game. The Big East canceled their tournament at halftime of the Creighton versus St. John's game. Unfortunately, many major league sports have put an indefinite halt to their seasons due to the coronavirus. The NBA, the NHL, the MLS, and the MLB have all ended their seasons early. NASCAR, the PGA, and IndyCar have chosen to keep operations going, but without spectators. The NFL is still all systems go, however. They have suspended all travel until further notice. NewsLink Indiana will keep you updated on any new suspensions or policy updates. With the NBA suspending the rest of its season, 2 players from the Utah Jazz have tested positive for COVID-19. Rudy Gobert was the first player that tested positive for the virus earlier this week, which led to the cancellation of a game between the Jazz and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Earlier today, Jazz star Donovan Mitchell also tested positive for the coronavirus. At this point in time, the Utah Jazz have been released from quarantine in Chesapeake Bay Arena and are waiting for testing results. Gobert was reported not in the arena. The NBA has released new policies for athletes that will be effective through March 16th. The new policies require players to remain home as long as possible, bans group workouts and practices, and requires team physicians to be in contact with each player every day. Even though he was not in the arena, Rudy Gobert publicly apologized on social media earlier today. This comes after the NBA star touched multiple microphones and items that belong to Utah Jazz players. In a tweet posted today, Gobert was quoted saying, "I was careless and make no excuse. I hope my story serves as a warning and causes everyone to take this seriously. I will do whatever I can to support using my experience as a way to educate others and prevent the spread of this virus." Gobert is currently in quarantine. and it's really a shame just seeing March Madness and everything canceled. I mean, it's
yeah, all my
I'm
bracket
speechless.
picks are out the window, but I guess you could say everybody had a perfect bracket this year.
You could.
We're headed into the weekend, and the warm weather may not stay for long.
We'll take one more final look at the weather next.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you help me? I got it. Thank you. No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared. So start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
As students are preparing to either stay on or leave campus, we're all wondering if this nice weather is going to stick around. Joseph, what can you tell us?
I mean, right now it's not looking nice outside. We're going to see rain showers tracking into the viewing area. Those rain showers could be gusty throughout tonight, so just make sure to stay safe if you are traveling home this evening. But after that, that rain will finally leave around Friday morning, and we'll be left with a temperature of 45 degrees, so much cooler than today, but at least the sun will be more likely to peek out for Friday. Then we'll end up transitioning to Saturday, where temperatures will drop even lower to a higher 40, where we could also see some rain snow mix during that time. So if you're heading home over the weekend, make sure to stay safe as you're heading home, because those could be slickery. But after that snow will finally go away Sunday with a high of 43 and a low of 29, with at least mostly sunny skies, so at least there's that. And then looking over next week, we're going to see mostly scattered near showers, perhaps a little more than that, but at least temperatures will be jumping up into the mid to upper 50s over next week. So basically, you're going to need an umbrella with you. You're going to definitely want to make sure to drive safely, but you might not need to worry about a jacket at least for next week. So basically, just it's cold.
Yeah, very cold, and but we're hoping maybe spring is just around the corner. Isn't that what the groundhog said anyway? Is he lying to us?
Well, I mean, the groundhog can't really tell you anything about the weather. It's up to the climate to really change. So I'm afraid the groundhog is lying to you.
That's too bad.
Well, you know, we've been having this crazy weather, but hopefully it'll all calm down, so.
Absolutely, and that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 8 for a special edition of Waking Up with Cardinal Weather.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.